G'day, how yous all going? This is Ianapolis from Australia here, your acrylic guru. Now today's lesson for you beginners out there is going to show you how you can paint a colourful painting onto a black gessoed canvas, alright? So I've got my black gessoed canvas here. Now it's a canvas board, you can use even a stretch canvas, and if you don't have a black one you can buy them from your art store, or you can buy yourself some black gesso. Where are we here? This is the gesso there. Okay, that is it's like a flat paint, and I've just painted it on my canvas the day before and allowed it to dry. It's got to be 100% dry, okay? So, and also get yourself a good dry brush before you start, and brush any bits of dust or hair that might be on it, so you've got a beautiful clean canvas ready to rock and roll. Now before we get started, I just want to show you the list of colours that we're going to use in this thing. There they go, they're going up the screen all the way up there like that. Look at them go, eh? There's the colours that we're going to use, and once they're finished going up the screen, I'll give you a quick look at the brushes that I'm going to use. You do not have to use the same brush that I'm using, but so long as you can get the same effect, use your favourite brush. And that is the size of my canvas board right there. Alright, so come over and have a look at the brushes. Now I've chosen to use a fan brush. This is going to incorporate my clouds. This is my applicating brush I'm going to use to apply the paints to the canvas. It's a 2-inch brush just from your home hardware store, from the house painting section. And the same 2-inch brush again I'm going to use for my blending. And this one is a 2-inch brush, but it is very narrow. It's not as wide as the other ones that I'm going to use. And the reason for that is when I'm painting the clear retarder, this is more forceful and it's going to really get it everywhere I want, where these ones would be a bit lazy and you'll be doing more wrist work, and you don't want to do more wrist work than you need to do, okay? That's just my opinion. And I'm going to use a couple of small brushes for the detail of the girl to the side of the picture, and also a clear medium retarder which slows down the drying time of your acrylic paint. Alright, they're the brushes. This is what I posted on my Facebook page the other day. This is what I started off with, my black canvas board, and we're going to get to this stage before we incorporate the foreground and the girl, okay? So I'm going to show you how I've done that onto a black gessoed canvas board, okay? It's quite easy when you follow along. So I'll put that back up there. Now you have a lot more time to do this procedure than me, and because it's got a lot of retarder medium clear underneath there, it's going to take quite a while to dry. And if I dry it with the hairdryer, it'll be dry, but it's going to be tacky. And for my traceable I'm going to have of the girl, if you're going to put carbon paper onto that paint that's dry but still a bit tacky, you're going to leave little purple or black imprints of your carbon paper on your painting. So what I'm going to do today to make it easier for me is I'm going to get this painted to that stage, and because this is bone dry, it's as dry as the Sahara Desert, then I'm going to start using this one for the next procedure. But all in all, it's going to be the same painting. It's just that this is one that I prepared earlier. Alright? So let's get started. Alright, down here, I don't know if you can see it, I've got a puddle of my clear medium, which is the retarder, and I'm going to soak up my 2-inch flat brush with this, get it right into the hairs there. Alright, now back up to the canvas here, I'm going to crisscross this clear retarder into this black canvas. Now you don't want to overdo it with this, otherwise you'll have a lot of trouble. But this is why I'm using this stubborn directional flatter 2-inch brush, because I can really push this into the canvas here, okay? And the trick is, do not put too much on. Take your time and get this incorporated into your canvas there. I'll get a bit more on my brush. Crisscross it in, that way you're really pushing it into those potholes of your canvas. Because if you've sort of done it lazy and there's bits of dry bits there, you're going to ruin the finish that you're looking for, okay? See, I've got the edge of the brush this way to scratch it in, and that way to level it off before the brush strokes. So find your way you can incorporate this on best you can. Try a roller. I've never tried a roller. If a roller works, that's good, but if it doesn't, just stick to a real stubborn-haired brush. See, I'm scratching that right in there. Scratching it all over, all over. This is the part that's going to make the painting. This is the foundation of your painting. So the more pride you put into this procedure here, the better. Now I'm going to brush stroke all that nice and even across there like that. Alright? Now that same brush I'm going to use for the colours. Alright, I've just got a paper towel and I'm wiping that brush, just getting the excess off there. I'll put him down like that. Now we're going to start with our dioxine purple. Once this purple's on there, it's a dark purple. I'm using a dark dioxine because when we add the white, it's going to bring it more of a violet colour, which is just the colour I want in my sky. Alright, so we're going to grab that same brush. Down here I'm picking up both sides of it, so I've got a lot of that into the brush to incorporate onto the canvas board. I can, if I want, add a bit of, not too much, a bit of retarder medium. And now over here I've got it sort of in the tops and the corners there, okay? So that's what we're going to do. You've got to imagine this. So we're going to crisscross this into the corner. Now you won't see this very well. I can see it, but I don't know if you can see it on the camera. I always like to bring my darker colour, it's just a habit of mine, from the corners, and I like to spear them into the middle as well, give them some sort of forking into the middle effect, you know, and then we'll crisscross this. Don't just put it on, put some effort into getting it into that clear medium onto your canvas board. Okay, that's nice and wet. This is acrylic and it's wet, it's beautiful. That's what that retarder medium's doing, and it's a clear one. You can get white ones, but in this case you use a clear. Now that's on there. I'm going to clean that brush and then incorporate the phthalo blue. Okay, my brush is clean and smashed dry. I might just put a little bit of my clear retarder into the tips, okay? You can see how much is there. And now I'm going to incorporate this blue, both sides of the brush, and then into the tips of the hairs. That's just the way I want to load it up. So I'm comfortable knowing that brush has got enough paint in there to do a fair sweep. Okay, let's come up to the canvas there. Alright, I can see where my dioxine is. I don't want to get this over into the dioxine purple. I want to have it just meeting. So I'm going to see from my light source where I can see it, and I want to get this crisscrossed onto this clear. Now you might pick this colour up. Some colours show a bit different. But you make sure doing this procedure on a black canvas that you're using a pretty good quality paint. You don't want to go using a real nasty cheap one or a student quality one. Get yourself a really good one, because the quality of paints make a difference, okay? We're going to come down here. Now that blue is on there. That's not how I'm going to finish it. I want to wipe that brush. Okay, just wipe the excess off. And I just want to lightly get the brush strokes out of that and feed it into that dioxine, that side and that side. There we go. And the white is what's going to bring this alive. Alright, that's that much done. So we've got our black gesso canvas. It's got a clear medium over it, which is a retarder to slow down the drying time of your acrylic paint. And we've got our two colours there. You can put green or red, whatever, but when they put the white on it, it's going to bring them out in a lighter way. Now down here, I've got my white. This is a soft flowing white, okay? It's not a thick structured one. I'm using a decent quality flowable white, okay? So I want to maybe just dampen my brush with some retarder and wipe the excess off, and then load up with the white. Dab it in the ends and then onto the edges like that. So that paint is all the way through that much of the brush, inside and out, not just on the outsides, okay? Let's come up there and do some magic. All right, I'm going to start with the dark bits and keep cleaning the brush as we go. So, oh no, actually I want to start with the middle bit. So we're going to put this on, crisscross it around, come to the edge where your dioxine is, crisscross it on like so, and you can see what's happening to the canvas there. This bottom's going to be some water. Now I've done that much. Now to get into that dioxine, I want to clean this brush, okay, and then do the same again into the dioxine colours. We've got our white back on there, and we're going to get that dioxine over here. Try not to contaminate the blue into the dioxine, like so, come across the top. And that's pretty much what I want, okay? Now I'm going to grab my blending brush. Grab yourself a brush to blend all this. Now grab your towel and keep wiping. So we're going to get all those brushy, scratchy marks out. There might be some black showing through. That's not such a problem. It kind of gives it, when I saw it in the other piece I did, it didn't look so bad. So I want to get all this brush marks blended out and just have that artistic look in my colours there. Wipe your brush, it's important, wipe your brush. And we get this, I want to wipe it, stay out of the purple and just get all this blue done, alright? Because I'm deliberately going to leave a light source in the middle of this for the glare of our sun/moon. In this one it can be an evening moon or a high sun. Now this is acrylic paint, it's not oil. It's a good quality paint that I use, not a cheap one for this sort of procedure. Get all the way down here. Twist your brush around as you're blending, don't just blend in the one way. Twist your brush, get it manoeuvring different tones and movements into your colours on there. Now I want to go back to the dioxine. You can see the difference from this colour to there, all the brush marks in there. And doing it this way, normally I add a bit of mist into my sky, but this I don't need to. The sky is pretty much already misty and it's got all those factors in it that you're looking for. Okay. Alright, grab yourself a pouncer and load it up, twist it into that paint there. I've just got a round foam pouncer here, and we're going to create some glare where our sun/moon is going to go. So we're just going to get that loaded up, and from about here I want to get the middle done and bring it around just like so. And this is our first step of getting that glare into there. So we're just coming out to the edge. That's enough. Put that down. Grab your clean blending brush that you just cleaned up, and then lightly, I'm virtually just stabbing it and tickling it. I'm not doing heavy motions. I want this to be enough glare. See now how this blue is going into the purple there? That's just a matter of wiping your brush and bringing that purple back down into the blues there, and you get a better transition of the two colours. So I've got to get all this around here done. So I'm pretty happy with that intense lighter piece in the middle there. It's always good to have a light source in the middle of your paintings. attracts the eye to the middle. Okay, I'm going to wipe that. I'm going to get fussy and bring that purple back down into the blue, so none of those blue has contaminated the purple in a way that I'm not happy with. Okay, you can see our light source in the middle of the sky. That's all the blending I want to do. Now, before it gets a bit too much dry again, I've got to incorporate my cloud layout, all right? All right, for the clouds, I'm using a structured white paint. It's a bit thicker than the flow white, all right? So I'm going to get some of that there for my fan brush. Have a drink out of my Ohio cup I was given to by a Tammy Sharp. Ah, lovely. Now I'm going to I'll wet the brush and dry it, just damp it and dry it. And then I want to load this up, this thicker paint, ready for some clouds. Now some people are still having trouble with their clouds, and it does take time, but the more you persevere, the better you get. I just want to show you how easy it can be. This is all wet acrylic retarded. I've got my brush. My favourite one is a fan brush. And I'm going to sort of make them come down like this, okay? So it's just a matter of crisscross, and you're making the top edge of your cloud. That's what you're making with this crisscross moment, okay? That's what I wanted to create, all that bit there. This rest here is going to be blended like I've shown before. Grab your blending brush. I'm using my 2-inch one. You use whatever brush you're happy with blending, and we're going to blend the edge out and blend that down. And keep wiping your brush. It's important. If you don't, you're just going to get gluggy crap everywhere. So we're blending that down, and it's creating the shadow under the cloud ready for another layer. See what it's done? You've got light and then your shadow tones here. See how easy that is? It's just a matter of finding that right pressure to do on your brush. And see, you can give your clouds, if you want, a bottom. Giving your clouds a bottom is just not blending them down into the atmosphere like that. Now wipe that, and sometimes tickle the tops up if you need to. If they look fine the way they are, leave them and don't touch them. Alright, that's a cloud. That was very easy. Now we've got to clean that brush and go again. Now let's see, we've got the bright and coming down to the shadow. You want to leave some of this shadow before you put your next cloud on there, so it's given that sense of in front and behind each other, okay? And that's pretty much it. I'll come a bit too far down here, but we've got to get some water in here yet. So let's blend all this up. Blend it off the canvas there and blend down. I might give these a bit of a bottom here actually. See how we go. Just to give it into the atmosphere so I can put in my bit of water. Alright. Now we'll do the other side. Well, let's have something, say, all the way up into the purple, coming down. You make these shapes any way you want. See there? Wipe your blending brush. Come up and off your canvas there. Wipe it. Now see how that looks a bit too neat and this is looking all right? That's where you just need to get up there and give it some tickles. Wipe your brush and come back down again into your shadow area. Wipe your brush. See now with these colours underneath, because they're wet, they've created the shadow for your clouds. Now see here, I don't want to do a cloud too low and make that look a bit wrong, so I've got to get something at least in front of that and come down. Wipe my brush a bit, get some more white, and we'll try and get a tail out here somewhere. Alright? Grab your blending brush and blend all this down again like we did to the others. Wipe and wipe and wipe it. It's important to wipe that brush you're blending with. I've got to stress, I had a lot of problem when I started with clouds, but once you get your mojo going on clouds, you can do them with your eyes shut. That'll do, because we're going to put some water there, alright? Alright, for our water, I want to get some of the phthalo blue and put some bands in here. Just, actually, before I do that, I want to grab my brush that I use for the retarder, the medium, and I want to find my horizon line with that. So I'm going to come up to about there. That's making my horizon line. It's getting all those brush strokes in that paint horizontal. Okay, that's fine. Wipe that, leave it. Now I'm going to grab some phthalo blue and I want to put some just areas like this. Okay, now I'm going to quickly wash that. We might get the smallest amount of dioxine purple, okay, just to give some dark values with this water underneath there, just like that. That'll do. Now we grab that brush again and we'll start from the middle, let's say, and let's get those smeared and blended into that water there like that. Come across and down. Keep moving your brush until you get that movement you want. Now, give that a wash, because now we're going to put some white and do the same thing, but you don't want to contaminate the white. Okay, I've got some white loaded on my brush, and we'll get the white where we want it, just like that. That'll do. Grab that brush and smear all that in as well. I don't really like that big purple line there. If anything, it's a bit... I'm going to get some white on my brush like that. Put like little U's in front of it if it's just too much. Wipe it and we'll smear that across. And you can keep playing with it. If it's too light, add some more darks. But that's pretty much the basic water I want for here. Okay? We'll load the knife up with some paint. Where's our horizon line? Somewhere over here. And we'll put some intensity over the top edge of the horizon line here, roughly underneath our moon/sun, just like so. And what you can do, the dark and light areas, you can kind of put some over there, just like that. Get a bit more on there. I don't like using knives, but you got to learn to use everything, I suppose. Okay. All right, now just to finish it off for the next stage is grab your pouncer, load it up with some more white paint and put your sun/moon roughly where you want it. So I'm going to stamp it on first without twisting it and have a look. That's okay. So what I want to do is go back over it, give it just a bit of a twist, a little bit, and see what that looks like. That's fine. I'm happy with that. Now I'll give it a bit of a wipe on my paper towel. I'm going to load it up again, just so as I can get that. I want a sort of a crisp on, just somewhere. It's just what I like to do. You probably can't pick it up on the camera, but that's got texture in it. I love it when I've done a painting. People can rub their hands across it and just feel everything on there. Alright, that's pretty much it. That can be dried, and we've virtually reproduced what I did the other day. It's same but different. I mean, it's the same picture, but they are different. Alright, but because this one's dry now, I'm going to start using this canvas, okay? Because this one is wet, and like I said, I can blow dry it now, but I'll be waiting a month of Sundays for it to get really dry so I can do the traceable on top of there, okay? Okay, I've put the traceable for the girl on the edge. Now, I'm going to put a link in the description below to take you directly to this traceable. That'll be a lot easier than people messaging me, can I have the traceable for the girl on the beach? Because I've done a few different girls and it's a bit hard to work out which one you want, and I've just been sending them all to you. So this one will have the link that'll take you directly to the traceable, okay? Now, I've done that. Come in here so you know what I'm on about. Now you can see the pencil line there. It's very faint, but I want to colour all that in white. So the colours that I put on top of that is not going to be, you're not going to see dark and light through it, and it's not going to be opaque. I want it to be a solid. So I'm going to primer it with white, but before I do, I'll do the rest of this foreground first with a palm tree. Now I'm going to grab some of the yellow oxide, or it's yellow ochre, and I'll come across, there's that hat there somewhere. I'll start from there and I'll come across, giving it up here somewhere like that. Come in and we'll have a look. Right, so let's get all this coloured in with just yellow oxide for now. I'm just using a small flathead brush for this. Just get the basic. You can detail this foreground as much as you want. I'm just keeping it simple for the tutorial here, giving you an idea how to work on a black canvas. And you can put any foreground on it. You can put some lilies just hanging over the front. You can put a jetty. You can put virtually anything in front of this. So we'll get that pretty well evenly loaded up, so just like that. And then we'll wipe the brush and we'll add some white just to highlight it. And you can probably put some dark colours in there too. Alright, same brush. I'm just grabbing a bit of burnt sienna, and we'll probably put some where we can just sort of get some different values of light and darker tones in there, just like that. I'll wipe that brush. No, actually I'll wash it. And we'll get some of the white, and pretty much in the middle here we'll get some white values in there. That'll do it. Now I've cleaned that brush, and we're just going to blend those on some horizontal strokes. Wipe the brush. Wipe the brush. Come in from the edge if you want to. So long as you're comfortable the way you've just merged those colours together. Now we're going to put a palm tree in here, but this girl is pretty much this tall, so you don't want to do a little palm tree here and make it look out of proportion, okay? I'm going to use the same brush. I'm not even going to have my palm tree on here. You can if you want, but I want it sort of coming from off the picture and in. So it's hard to tell who's in front and who's behind, so the sizes will work out for you, okay? So a bit of Van Dyke brown, it's one of the darker coloured browns. Work out roughly where you want your palm to come in from. I want to come in from about there. Okay, there's the backbone to your palm. Now we can give it some body. So we'll come into the thickness that we want. Keep chiseling the paint onto your brush so it's nice and sharp, and you can come off the canvas like that, and you'll be keeping the edges of that palm tree nice and sharp, okay? Just pretty much like a horn shape. That's my version of a palm. It doesn't have to be photo perfect. You do your style of a palm. Alright, now I'm going to get the yellow oxide, or the yellow ochre. Just chisel it onto the brush, and we just want to, from the sun/moon side, just sort of give it some sort of highlight into your palm tree like that. That'll do. wipe your brush, okay, temper the edge of it back to a chisel, and then fix that up. Up there's going to be very busy and overlapped with palm leaves anyway. And now what I'm doing is I'm just toning it down because it's a bit too loud, just so it's got the resemblance of a palm tree. Get right to the edge there. That's a good enough. It's better than just a black blobby palm trunk. Now we'll get a bit of the white, chisel it onto your brush, okay, and just the faintest. I hope my brush isn't in the way for you. And just come from the edge and do it so you're getting the shape of the roundness of the trunk as well, if you can be bothered putting that much detail and effort in your work. Like that, see? And all the yellow oxide and whatnot is made up the different tones and values in that trunk. It's not just a boring black trunk. Now I'm wiping that brush and I'm going to get the bit of white again just to highlight. Where do I want about? Put some highlight on it down there. So I'm using this chiseled edge brush as a knife. Okay, that was pretty easy. Alrighty, I've cleaned that same brush. Now I'm going to get the Van Dyke brown again and give that tree some healthy palm leaves. Now how I do this, I sort of keep it nice and sharp. I'll come across and let it fade down, and then give it a bit more of a leg on there like that. See how easy that was? Come in closer. Okay, and we'll do another one. Let's say there, this one's sort of dropping in front, not on its side. You don't want everything on its side. You don't want everything to look like it's been smacked in the face and it's flat. All right, now we'll get another one up here. So we'll up, down. Try not to cover all your beautiful background as well, okay? Because we're going to highlight this with just a touch of green. Now we can come over the back here. Boom. And then give him a bit of a bend in it. Just so it looks palm trees. We'll bring another one here. Now, I want you to see just what you need to do so it doesn't look like the spokes of a wheel. Okay, we do the main palms, I do, and let's put another one about here. Okay, then you just load your brush up again and get the middle of it just all busy and thicker, and you know, just artistically change the shape of it so it's just not so, looks like a, you don't want it to look like a windmill wheel. We've got to get at least one over the trunk as well. And see, that's just breaking it up. Practice these, they're very easy. And that's a basic palm. We'll just highlight it now with some green. Alright, you can get an idea how it's coming along there. Now, I've blow dried that because when I put the green on top, I don't want it to mud up, I want it to lay over that darker colour. Alright, so it's important to know where you need to dry things if you can't do wet on wet. I don't really like doing wet on wet, okay? We could probably put a bit of a shadow into this foreground as well. I might do that now while we're coming up to this stage. This is the happy stage in my videos. It's like I'm halfway done or a bit over halfway done, and I'm looking forward to it to be a bit finished. So I'm grabbing some of the Van Dyke brown. I want to sort of incorporate some sort of shadow over the ground here. Okay. Now I'm grabbing my small chiseled flathead brush and I'm getting the white, and the lines there, I want to prime out the area for the girl. try and keep all your brush, thick gluggy brush strokes out of it, blend them in so it's a nice flat white primer. Okay, just like so, because this will allow your skin colours, any reds for lipstick, blues for bikini, all those colours to show their vibrant true tones. Now I'm not going too much beyond my pencil line there. I'm going just the thickness of the pencil line in from the edge, so as I don't have a white line all around it once I've done the traceable. Now the hair I won't worry about it, the black will be fine. So we'll just get all this blocked in. So let me just, oh, there's the arm there, I'll do bits and pieces and then I'll turn the camera off and block it in so I don't bore the hell out of you. That's her arm there. Alright, this is dry. I've put in the white primer background for the girl. Okay, we're getting our forest green. It's a bit dark and we're going to scratch in the green for our palms over this darker Van Dyke brown. So work out what's behind and give it some green in there. That I'm going to have like behind. There we go. Yeah, just so that Van Dyke brown is acting as the darker values in our tree. You don't want this green too light. I did start with sap green, but it was a bit light, so I've gone for the forest green. And it's just given us some colour in our tree there. Just so it's got depth and value. And we'll skewy up some of this bit as well. Now what I want to do is with this same green, darken that up in there a bit, make it all busy, is I think someone's knocking on my door. Darken that up. Now grab just a bit of white with that brush, the same paint, you've got a bit of white, and see where our sun is. If you want to, you can just highlight that side of the tree. Just like so, giving a bit more. That's it, that's finished, everything's finished now. So I'm going to go and put the traceable back on here and get the details for the ocean girl, and then we'll incorporate her colours and it'll be all finished, okay? Alright, I've put the outline for the hair, the glasses and the bikini and the hat. I'm grabbing my small flathead brush. I've just got a skin tone from the shop that was already mixed, and I'm going to virtually go. Now see what that white's done? It allowed this to be solid onto the painting. If all that blues and purples were there without the primer, you wouldn't get the true value of this colour. Okay, so that's why I wanted you to paint it white first. Alright? See, it doesn't matter if these go over the line because the glasses will come over it and sink everything back. So this might not be a true skin colour to the... It's just a skin tone I've bought. So I'm going to go and paint all her skin colour in like so. And instead of boring you with it all, I'll come back when it's all done, okay? So we're virtually just going to... But see where the bikini is? I won't go over the bikini there. I'll just show you in different places. And down here on her leg. Alright, I've done all the skin colour. Now I've got the raw sienna mixed with a bit of the skin colour just to find our darker values in this picture. So down the side of this arm here and against her hip, we have some shadow. So we're going to do this procedure next. So I just want to get this up there, blend it in to a degree that's reasonable to your painting. Okay, and we're going to put in all her things that make it look dimensional. There's the side of a leg. And what else is there? Oh, let's do the shoulder blade. Get the shoulder blade on there. So if you haven't put your skin colour on too thick, you can see the lines under there reasonably well. Bit of the neck. Come up for the neck. The jawline. I hope my hand's not in the way too much here. Come up the jawline and we'll come underneath it a bit just to create the bottom of the neck and jaw, and then come down the neck some more. Okay, I've got all the tone done. Now I want to do the glasses and the lips next, so we'll grab a bit of red for the lips, just a good old basic red for the lips, and we'll get our small precision brush and put in some lips as best as we can. Okay, so what have we got? Nice simple red lips. Try not to go over your edge. That's all we're going to use for the red. Now we want to get some white and highlight some areas in white. So just to give it that bit more better, we'll sort of, not too much, we'll just put some highlights here and there. Right, a bit more detail. I'm getting the phthalo blue, and we'll just do the middle piece of her glasses in phthalo blue. Over here, and the middle bit over here. So we'll give a big square beach glasses. Now it's important, I did it off screen, but I put a shadow underneath the glasses here, so when I put the frame of the glasses on, it'll give it that illusion that they're off her face, they're not sitting flat, it's not a flat picture, okay? So we'll just simply colour that in like that with some phthalo blue. You can use primary blue, whatever blue you like. Okay. While we got the phthalo blue going, I want to give her a blue bikini. So this has got to go just that little bit over the skin so it looks tight. It might need a couple of coats of bikini top and bottom, but we can highlight this also with some lighter values as well. We'll come past the waist a little bit. Okay. Alright, I want to put her glasses on. I just want to go over this white, just so it looks a bit more stronger than what's there, because that white that is there was just the undercoat. Give her a bit of a eyebrow up here, nothing too thick. Wet it down a bit so it'll move off the brush. This is just Van Dyke brown, this eyebrow. And probably, no, there's no hint of another one on the other side. Don't forget, this traceable will have a link in the description below. We'll get a bit of a line for the nose, depth for the nostril, and maybe a bit of depth for the belly button. Alright, now we're just going to have fun and paint the hair. Right, I want to get all the little sharp bits first. Now let's get it against the arm, nice and sharp before we get too carried away. We can shape the edge of the arm and the finger down there, like so. We'll map this red in for the hat, and then we'll just give it some different values of light and darks. Okay, now we'll grab a bit of white. I'm just smearing a bit of white into that paint there. And I want to put some, just something like that, and something like that, and maybe a bit more white. There we go. Then we will, every hat has to have a ribbon or something in it, doesn't it? So we'll give this one, what sort of ribbon can we give it? We'll try and give it a white one, but if that white's going to turn pink, we might have to make it a blue one, but we'll try a white. Just a nice, simple, easy white ribbon. Sort of turning pink on me, you bastardo. But it's a hat anyway, it looks like a hat. Alright. Alright, I'm going to call that finished. I'm going to get a bit of this white and we'll just sign it down here. Okay, that's done. Let's just put a frame on that and we'll see how she looks, eh? Go. Yeah, that's not too shabby, eh? Alright, I hope you enjoyed that exercise. We'll call this the Ocean Girl. Well, you can put anything in front of that background that we've painted. This is just something I want to put on there. And there will be a link to take you to a traceable for that girl if you want to put that girl on it in the description below, okay? So, all the best to everybody. Goodbye, good luck, and good on ya.